He's doing a great job of staying, keeping her back against the fence.
With a front and a right hand.
Another one! Big one!
Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hammer fist.
Katherine Corogenes sent a massive bombshell message to Dakota Ditcheva that would come back to haunt her in the most devastating way possible. The American fighter talked a big game, claiming she would drag the British star into deep waters and crush her dreams. But what happened inside the cage was nothing short of a brutal reality check. Dakota Ditcheva and Katherine Corogenes at PFL 10. From the pre-fight war of words to the shocking first-round finish, this is a fight that proved trash talk doesn't win fights. Skill does.
Faced Katherine Corogenes at PFL 10 in what turned out to be another showcase of Ditcheva's striking dominance. From the opening bell, Dakota came out calm yet calculated, maintaining her signature upright Muay Thai stance and controlling the center of the smart cage.
Let's get into it. Before their clash at PFL 10, Katherine Corogenes didn't just accept the fight, she demanded it. The American fighter was riding high on confidence, feeling unstoppable after walking through her previous opponents. Here's what Corogenes had to say. I felt like I was ready for something bigger because I was just walking through these girls. So I want that challenge. I want that hard fight. I want to have to brawl and bang. And I'm ready for that.
I felt like I was ready for something bigger because I was just walking through these girls. So I want that challenge. I want that hard fight. I want to have to brawl and bang.
But Corogenes didn't stop there. She took direct aim at Dakota Ditcheva, the undefeated British-Bulgarian star who was making waves in the PFL. Yeah, of course. You know, I respect her Muay Thai. I respect her record. There's definitely a lot of hype around her. They're definitely promoting her. She's, you know, long, tall, beautiful, blonde. But I don't believe she's ever been dragged into deep waters before. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, of course. I respect her Muay Thai. I respect her record. There's definitely a lot of hype around here. They're definitely promoting her. She's, long, tall, beautiful, blonde, but I don't believe she's ever been dragged into deep waters before.
Corogenes leaned into her underdog status, claiming it fueled her fighting spirit. People have been telling me my whole life, my whole career. Oh, maybe you can't. I thrive off of it. I live it. Like I love to crush dreams. So, let's go. Those words, I love to crush dreams, would become one of the most ironic statements in recent MMA history. While Corogenes was firing shots and making bold predictions, Dakota Ditcheva remained composed and confident. Her response showed the mindset of a true professional, one who lets their fists do the talking. Here's what Dakota said before the fight. I'm going to say I expect a tough fight. I feel like both our games, like my game all around, are really good. Her game all around is good, so I feel like it's going to be a really good matchup. But then again, I feel like I've said that before and it's ended quite short. So, 100% believe in my ability and feel like, it's not going to last too long.
I mean, I'm going to say I expect a tough fight. I feel like both our games, like my game all around is really good. Her game all around is good. So I feel like it's going to be a really good matchup. But then again, I feel like I've said that before and it's ended quite short. So 100% believe in my ability and feel like, it's not going to be, it's not going to last too long.
Notice the difference? No disrespect, no over-the-top trash talk, just quiet confidence backed by an undefeated record. Dakota acknowledged her opponent's skills but made it clear she believed in her own ability to end the fight quickly. The fight generated massive buzz on social media, with Dakota taking to Twitter to share her thoughts and build anticipation. The MMA community was divided. Would Corogenes back up her bold words, or would Dakota prove once again why she's considered one of the most dangerous strikers in the division? The stage was set for an unforgettable showdown. When the bell rang at PFL 10, Dakota Ditcheva came out with her signature approach. Calm, calculated, and incredibly dangerous. She maintained her upright Muay Thai stance, controlling the center of the smart cage with precision. Katherine Corogenes, true to her word, came forward aggressively, looking to pressure Dakota and drag her into that deep water she'd promised. But within seconds, it became clear that Corogenes was dealing with a different level of striker.
They're doing a great job of getting those underhooks as well. Now trying to push the arm and
she will land knees with the quickness. Saw in her last fight, dropping her opponent with a knee to the body, finishing the fight. Here she is on top.
Decided.
About a minute into the round, Dakota started finding her timing. A solid body kick made Corogenes step back. Then came a clean right hand that snapped her head back violently. Corogenes tried to close the distance and clinch, perhaps realizing the striking battle wasn't going her way. But Dakota easily shrugged her off and returned to striking range. There was no panic, no urgency, just calculated destruction.
Attempt there from Corogenes.
Yeah, it looks like she was either trying to go for a sweep or an arm lock attempt, and Dakota did a good job of getting that shin pin there.
More hammer fist from the top. Ditcheva steps out. Goes to work on the legs of Katherine Corogenes.
Nice long levers on Ditcheva. She uses them great. That teep is awesome to keep, like a jab. And even on the ground, she stays postured and uses those long arms and long legs to her advantage.
Then Dakota landed the combination that changed everything. A clean right hook followed by a brutal left body shot. The impact was visible. Corogenes was hurt badly. As Corogenes backed up toward the cage wall, Dakota pressed forward like a shark smelling blood. She unleashed a flurry of punches with deadly accuracy. A powerful right hand dropped Corogenes to the canvas.
Very good, too. Use the cage, use the cage. Use the cage.
Lovely.
Very good, move away.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, Dakota followed her down and delivered brutal ground and pound shots. The referee quickly jumped in to stop the fight, awarding Dakota a first-round TKO victory. Time of stoppage, just over 2 minutes into the first round. This wasn't just another win for Dakota Ditcheva. It was a statement to the entire flyweight division. Katherine Corogenes came in with a tough reputation, talking about crushing dreams and dragging Dakota into deep waters. Instead, Dakota showed the world what happens when trash talk meets elite-level skill. Her undefeated record isn't just about wins, it's about how she wins. Most of her victories come by knockout or TKO, often in the first round. With each performance, Dakota Ditcheva cements her status as one of the most exciting fighters in women's MMA. Fans and analysts alike are taking notice. The question isn't if she'll compete for a title, but when. The Corogenes fight taught us an important lesson. Confidence is essential in fighting, but it must be backed up by skill. Corogenes believed in herself, but belief alone wasn't enough against a striker as technical and powerful as Dakota Ditcheva. Dakota Ditcheva didn't just appear out of nowhere. She's been building her skills for years. With a strong foundation in Muay Thai that translates perfectly to MMA, her fights before joining the PFL showed glimpses of her potential.
When I'm looking back,
In her bout against Patricia Borge at the United Kingdom Championship in 2021, Dakota displayed the same qualities: precision striking, overwhelming pressure, and finishing ability. That fight also ended in a first-round TKO via brutal elbows.
Okay, let's go.
UFC legend Ronda Rousey has just sent a massive bombshell message to Dana White, and it's not what you think. While Dana White and Dan Hardy are hyping up the next big thing in Dakota Ditcheva, Rousey just revealed why she can't come back, no matter how much fans want it. This is the truth behind the comeback rumors, the real reason she disappeared, and why the Rowdy era might truly be over. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's go.
So here's the bombshell that nobody saw coming. In a recent interview, Ronda Rousey opened up about why she stopped fighting, and it's heartbreaking. Listen to what she said. "I felt like I had to come back for another fight because I felt like I owed it to the fans, right? And everyone that had believed in me. Maybe I needed to give them an example of overcoming adversity, but it got to the point where the next fight, the first time I got touched, I was out on my feet."
Because, well, first I felt like I had to come back for another fight because I felt like I owed it to the fans, right? And everyone that had believed in me. Maybe I needed to give them an example of overcoming adversity. But it was to the point where the next fight, the first time I got touched, I was out on my feet.
Let that sink in. The woman who dominated an entire division, who finished fights in seconds, was getting knocked out on her feet from a single touch. But here's the part that really hits different. I'd never been faster, never been stronger, never had a better grasp of the game. I'd never been so much better than everybody else. But your brain isn't callous. It doesn't get stronger after a break. It was just an inevitable decline.
Feet, and it was so hard because I'd never been faster, never been stronger, never had a better grasp of the game. I'd never been so much better than everybody else. But your brain doesn't callous. It doesn't heal back stronger after a break. It's just an inevitable.
This is CTE reality, folks. Rousey admitted she was taking punishment until she couldn't anymore. And the worst part? She felt vilified by the media and fans, with people saying she was all hype, that she was just lucky. She even said she's pretty sure if she walked into a UFC arena today, she'd be booed. When asked why that bothered her, she simply said, "I gave them everything I had and it wasn't enough."
I gave them everything I had and it wasn't.
That's not just an athlete talking. That's someone who carried an entire division, pioneered women's MMA, and got torn down when her body finally gave out. Now, you'd think Dana White would address this directly, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Dana recently commented on Rousey, saying, quote, "Her and I are still very close. We talk every few months. She came by the offices. She's freaking ripped now."
When you say things like it's going to be the greatest fight card ever assembled, our imaginations run wild, right? And one of the things people have been wondering about is Ronda Rousey. She posted like she's finding her love for MMA again and training hard. Have you talked to her? Does she have any desire to return to the UFC?
Yeah, her and I are still very close when we talk. I would say we probably talk once every 3 months or something like that. And she was in Vegas recently, and she came by the offices. But I don't know what her plans are. I think she's just.
Wait, what? Dana's fueling comeback speculation while Rousey is literally explaining her neurological decline? That's classic Dana White, keeping the hype train rolling. But here's the thing. Dana's been notably silent on any actual comeback plans. No official announcements, no fighter contracts, just vague statements about how ripped she looks and how they're still close.
Place in her life. But I will say this, she's had another baby and she's in great shape right now. I mean, she's freaking ripped like she used to be. So I don't know.
Meanwhile, sources close to the situation say Dana's already shifting his focus. He's been asked multiple times about bringing Dakota Ditcheva to the UFC, and every time he lights up. The UFC president even hinted that Ditcheva could be a massive moneymaker. So what's really happening here? Dana's keeping the Rousey mystique alive for nostalgia and headlines, but behind the scenes, he's already looking at the next generation. And that brings us to the woman everyone's talking about. Dakota Ditcheva. If you don't know that name yet, you will soon. This 26-year-old British sensation is 15-0 with a 90% finish rate. Let me repeat that, 90% finish rate, 12 knockouts, 1 submission. She just won the PFL Women's Flyweight World Championship and walked away with $1 million. In 2024, Ditcheva absolutely dismantled Taila Santos, the same Santos who pushed Valentina Shevchenko to the limit. Ditcheva finished her in 2 rounds with a brutal body shot TKO. We're talking complete domination. And her confidence? Listen to this. I look at the UFC and think I definitely enter the top 15, maybe even top 10 straight away. I genuinely am at that stage. Yeah, I could beat a lot of them.
I started training in MMA again, started getting enjoying it, again. They're like, well, you look so good. I'm like, well, because I'm the greatest ever. Of course, this is what happens when I train.
That's Rousey-level confidence, but with a skill set built for 2025. She's got the striking that Rousey never developed, the takedown defense that Rousey struggled with against Holly Holm, and the well-rounded game that modern MMA demands. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Can Rousey even compete in today's MMA? Here's the brutal truth. Her last fight was a 48-second knockout loss to Amanda Nunes at UFC 207. She looked completely outmatched on the feet. After that fight, she said, "I remember my last fight walking away thinking God hates me. I had nothing left in me."
And Rousey herself later reflected on that moment, saying, "I remember my last fight walking away thinking God hates me. I had nothing left in me."
Rousey admitted she's been vilified by MMA media, that fans turned on her, calling her hype and saying she was just lucky. She hasn't attended a UFC event since because she fears getting booed. But here's what people forget. While Rousey was building the sport, carrying it on her shoulders, literally making it possible for fighters like Ditcheva to exist, the competition was training specifically to beat her. As Hardy pointed out, it was impossible for Rousey to keep growing as a fighter when she was simultaneously being the pioneer, the champion, and the face of women's MMA. Rousey recently opened up about training again, saying, "I started training MMA again for my own joy. Everyone assumes I'm plotting world domination, but I just want to feel good about myself."
I started training in MMA again, started getting enjoying it, again. And then it's really funny that I'm training and everyone's like, "So what are you training for? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "For my own joy." Is that bad?
They see you training, but they automatically think you want to come back.
I mean, they're like, "Well, you look so good." I'm like, "Well, because I'm the greatest ever." Of course, this is what happens when I train. I look great. Sorry, I don't have to have a plan for world domination in mind. But Mike Tyson coming back and being the biggest fight of last year, it just kind of proves that I don't think anyone's ever really done.
She's 8 months postpartum after her second child, training in a garage cage she built. But she's made it clear, this is for joy, not competition. At 38 years old, with documented neurological issues and the licensing hurdles that come with brain trauma, a comeback seems unlikely. Here's where things get really interesting from a business perspective. Dana White's silence on a Rousey comeback isn't accidental. It's strategic. The UFC knows the sport has evolved. Striking has become king. Fighters are more well-rounded. The days of one-dimensional grapplers dominating are over.
I'm gonna die on this sword right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Bicep slicer. Oh. That lubed me up for the kill.
Meanwhile, Dakota Ditcheva is the hottest free agent in women's MMA. She recently re-signed with PFL after a denied UFC trade request. Sources say the UFC tried to acquire her, but PFL is holding tight to their star. And can you blame them? Ditcheva has everything modern MMA fans want. Highlight reel knockouts, championship gold, Muay Thai pedigree, and star power that rivals Rousey's prime. Even Conor McGregor called her the next big thing back in 2024. Levi Steedman drops a massive bombshell message to Dakota Ditcheva that's sending shockwaves through the MMA community. The British fighter didn't hold back when she revealed her game plan and thoughts about their controversial bout. But here's where it gets interesting. Dakota's response was absolutely brutal. And wait until you hear what she posted on Twitter that has everyone talking. Let's dive straight into what Levi Steedman just revealed. And trust me, this is explosive. Here's exactly what she said. Do you know what? Like, I didn't underestimate her. I thought she'd come off a few losses. She's going to want to come out and give me whatever she wants. And to be fair, like, she wanted to take to the floor. Fair enough. I think I rushed a bit on the floor, but then I thought as soon as it's up, I'm going to either head kick her or I'm going to body kick. So that's literally what we've been drilling, is just hands to head kick. And I think in the second round, I thought I was going to finish it because it dropped her. Amateur MMA as well. I thought that was a little bit of a late stoppage considering she just went flat on her back, but whatever. And I thought I'll just finish her in this third round. I was getting a bit tired so far.
Do you know what? Like, I didn't underestimate her. I thought, like, she's come off a few losses. She's going to want to come out and give me whatever she wanted. And to be fair, like, she wanted to take it to the floor. Fair enough. I think I rushed a bit on the floor, but then I thought as soon as it's up, I'm going to either head kick her or I'm going to body kick, because that's literally what we've been drilling, is just hands to head kick. And I think in the second round, I thought I was going to finish it because it dropped her. Amateur MMA as well, I thought that was a little bit of a late stoppage considering she just went flat on her back, but whatever. And I thought I'll just finish her in this third round. I was getting a bit tired, so I thought.
So there you have it, folks. Levi essentially admitted she underestimated how tough Dakota would be in that cage. She thought she could finish her, but the fight told a completely different story. Let's rewind to May 25th, 2019. Almighty Fighting Championship 12 in Liverpool, England. Two rising stars in British MMA were about to collide, and the pre-fight trash talk had everyone buzzing.
Thai boxing in the country. We've got one of the best up-and-coming MMA fighters in the country as well.
Brilliant knee. That's where that Thai background comes in.
Yeah, straight through the middle.
These two are two of that, like you say, the high prospects in the United Kingdom at the moment.
Both of them are very good prospects. Another big knee straight down the centre there.
Levi can't be taking many more of these.
Yeah, Levi needs to get this to the ground, as we said from the start here. She just needs to get this to the ground. We've got a very good Thai boxer in front of us.
Yeah, Levi Steedman is an all-round fighter, don't get me wrong, coming out of SPG Manchester, but if she's got any advantage in this fight, she's going to have...
Before they stepped into that cage, Levi Steedman had been calling Dakota overrated and inexperienced in interviews. The disrespect was real, and Dakota heard every word. From the opening bell, Dakota Ditcheva came to make a statement. She controlled the center of the cage with her Thai boxing background, landing devastating knees and crisp combinations that had Levi on the defensive immediately. The commentators were calling it as they saw it. Levi needed to get this fight to the ground. But every time she tried, Dakota's crossface and timing were just too good. Those knees were taking their toll. In the second round, Levi tried to turn things around. She attempted takedowns, tried clinch control, anything to stop those brutal strikes. And she had some success, landing a beautiful slam that got the crowd on their feet.
This is the thing where she needs to look at that takedown though. There we go. On the inside, but Dakota's got that crossface once again.
Levi with a brilliant level change there just to slow the pace back down.
Watch the knees from the inside as well on the cage, because this is exactly where Dakota can throw them knees right up the middle into the stomach area again.
But here's the thing about elite fighters. They stay composed under pressure. Dakota defended, countered, and continued to pick Levi apart on the feet. By the third round, the story was written. Dakota mixed up her attacks, body shots, hooks, spinning kicks, and Levi was running out of answers. The fatigue Levi mentioned in her statement. Yeah, it showed.
With the size of her legs, with how long they are, all she needs to do is break and she can head kick straight away.
Using that quarter
Nice.
against the cage, but Levi on the back now. Good takedown there from Dakota.
Levi looking to get Dakota back into her guard, tie things up a little bit and just slow the pace back down.
Yeah, this is actually probably a better position for Levi.
There was a late submission attempt from Levi, a choke that looked tight for a moment. But Dakota survived, and when that final bell rang, there was no doubt about the outcome: unanimous decision victory for Dakota Ditcheva. It wasn't just a win, it was a masterclass in striking, defense, and mental toughness. Now, you'd think after Levi's bombshell statement, Dakota would fire back with some heated words, right? Well, she did something even more savage.
Striker with long limbs like Ditcheva. She's using that high guard there. I thought she maybe got to a rubber guard.
We're into the last 10 seconds of this round. Dakota's got a big crowd with her tonight. Obviously one of the Aspire fighters tonight. Got a hometown advantage. And there we are, ending the first round. Dominant.
When asked about Levi's comments, Dakota kept it ice cold. I'm definitely excited about fighting in Bulgaria. Been waiting a long time to be on this show. So, I'm excited to put a show on.
Definitely excited about fighting in Bulgaria. Been waiting a long time to be on this show, so I'm excited to put a show on.
Wait, that's it? She didn't even acknowledge Levi's statement? That's the most disrespectful thing you can do to a rival. Act like they don't even exist. Short, confident, and straight to the point. She let her performance do the talking, and the MMA world took notice. And here's why Dakota's response hit so hard. She's continued to back it up. Her striking accuracy, her composure, her finishing ability, she's proven time and time again that the hype is real. So where do these two warriors stand today? Levi Steedman showed heart and toughness in that fight, and there's no shame in losing to a fighter of Dakota's caliber. She's continued to compete and grow as a mixed martial artist, and statements like the one she just dropped show she's still got that competitive fire. But let's be real. That night in Liverpool, Dakota Ditcheva announced herself as a serious problem in the division. Dakota has since become one of the most talked about strikers in women's MMA. Her Muay Thai background, combined with improving grappling defense, makes her a nightmare matchup for anyone. The question everyone's asking now is, will we see a rematch? After Levi's recent comments, you know she wants another shot. But will Dakota even entertain the idea, or has she moved on to bigger challenges? This rivalry gave us everything. Pre-fight trash talk, a competitive battle in the cage, and now post-fight revelations that are reigniting the conversation.
Young girls too, but with extensive experience in their fields of martial arts. A knee there from Levi. Slugged it off to Dakota.
Again, using them knees down the middle.
Oh, big. Ooh! That's deep from that fit. Wow.
Up against the cage now, looking for that potential ankle pick if she can drop down and look.
Levi Steedman admitted her strategy and where things went wrong. Dakota Ditcheva responded with champion-level composure and let her record do the talking. Here's what we learned. Confidence is good, but backing it up is what separates the great from the good. Both of these fighters showed warrior spirit, but on that night, Dakota's skill set was just too much.
Beautiful from Dakota, beautiful from. It's going to be unbelievable.
Vicious knees and elbows, resounding kicks, and a pile of lifeless bodies behind her. Dakota Ditcheva is by far the most promising prospect in women's MMA today. Don't let her gentle, feminine look fool you.
Come on in.
On the fence. Oh,
We're ready.
so long and rangy.
Put away.
Oh, yeah.
With 13 finishes out of 14 wins, no defeats, and a jaw-dropping 93% finishing rate, this 26-year-old British-Bulgarian is the kind of fighter who does not like taking prisoners. But every legend has a beginning. Today, we're taking you back to where it all started. April 10th, 2021, Cage Steel 25 in Sheffield, England. Two fighters, both with 0-0 records. Both were hungry for their first victory, but only one would leave the cage that night as a winner. This is the story of Dakota Ditcheva versus Jenny Line.
They both look excited to fight.
They do.
They've got to...
Dakota's got a cheeky little smile on her face there.
Well impressed now after that.
Before we dive into the carnage, let's talk about who these fighters were on that fateful night. Dakota Ditcheva stepped into the cage with 0 professional MMA fights, but she was far from inexperienced. The Manchester native had been forged for combat in the Muay Thai ring, her striking already razor-sharp and her killer instinct fully developed. She wasn't just another prospect. She was a weapon waiting to be unleashed.
They're picking their moment. Little leg kick there from Dakota.
From a Thai background, so I expect some quite
nice
a few
little jab, nice head kick. Oh, she's wobbled there.
She did.
And again.
Across from her stood Jenny Line, also making her professional MMA debut. With a 0-0 record just like Dakota, she was stepping into the unknown, ready to test herself against the best. Cage Steel 25 was sponsored by Everlast, and as both fighters entered the cage, you could see it in their eyes. Excitement, nervousness, determination. Dakota had a cheeky little smile on her face. The press was buzzing after the earlier ladies' fights, bigging them up. This was their moment, but only one of them would seize it. Ding ding, let's go!
Koji just looking for those shots.
Jenny looks like she's blinking quite a fair bit. I'm not sure if she got clipped in the eye.
Oh, just stuck with, switched again, just as I was going to say, she looks like she's sticking with the stance now, but she just switches back.
Job.
From the opening bell, Dakota was switching stances like a veteran, bouncing around, feeling out her opponent. Jenny Line looked cautious, and rightfully so. Dakota threw a leg kick. You could hear it echo through the arena. The Thai background was evident, and the commentators knew what was coming. Then it happened. Dakota landed a clean shot, and Jenny wobbled. Her legs buckled for a moment, but to her credit, she didn't go down. She went straight back at Dakota, refusing to give up. But Dakota was just picking her shots, patient, calculated, like a surgeon with a scalpel.
That sounded sweet from here.
Oh, what an elbow.
The Thai background now, the elbow's going in here.
Oh.
I think Jenny's about.
Wow. She's in a bit
I
of
thought
bother.
she was done, but she did great to get back there.
I can see a knee. Oh, you heard that.
Jenny trying to cut,
And again.
cut off.
She's gone down.
Dakota drags her to the floor.
Jenny started blinking quite a bit. Maybe she got clipped in the eye. Dakota kept switching stances, keeping her guessing. Then another leg kick landed. Oh, you heard that one. It sounded sweet, vicious, the kind of kick that makes you wince from the couch. The gap in skills was becoming evident. Dakota peppered her with kicks and punches, probing her defenses, breaking her down piece by piece. Then came the assault.
Jenny's managed to grab half guard. You can see with technical ability here on the floor.
I think she's cut her nose, look, Jenny.
Yeah. And she's trapped in Dakota's corner.
Oh, it's not where you want to be.
Dakota dragged Jenny to the floor after a scramble. Jenny managed to grab half guard, showing some technical ability, but she was trapped in Dakota's corner. And that's not where you want to be, not against someone with Dakota's ground game and killer instinct. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to ride this out, but Jenny wouldn't make it that long. Dakota started throwing elbows, nasty, cutting elbows from the top. The Thai background was showing again. She was winding up, and you could feel the end was near.
She loves them elbows, Dakota.
Yeah, like I say, the Thai background, she'll be used to throwing elbows. She wound up with that. I thought she was going to throw an elbow.
I did.
Spinning
elbow.
Oh, wow. Oh, knee. She's dropped.
It's a masterclass.
An
absolute.
Then, A spinning elbow. The crowd gasped, but Dakota wasn't done. Oh, a knee. Dakota was putting on an absolute masterclass. The referee had seen enough. After 2 minutes and 4 seconds of round number 1, he brought a halt to the contest.